Namaste all, hope you're doing very well. Welcome to your practice. This will be part of the Arogya Series, which is a softer approach. We focus on the small movements that create freedom for the big movements. Before we begin this morning's practice, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone who's been in over the last number of weeks. This week marks week number 10. If you've tuned into a practice already this week, you've already heard me going through what I'm going to say. But I just want to thank everyone, especially for tuning in, and a particular thanks to those who have been in a student position to financially support online classes, whether that's been a once-off donation contribution or if you've signed up as a regular patron. It's all really appreciated and never take for granted. The support a lot, so thank you so much. For this morning's practice, we will be going through the breath work that we've been working on in the Friday class, the resonance breathing, the even inhale and exhale in and out through the nose, remembering no pressure or force, only working towards a point that's attainable for you where you can have an inhale, even exhale. Further point with the practice of the breath, when you're inhaling, you're not trying to fill up to your maximum capacity. Often when we start to breathe quickly at the beginning of the breath, trying to fill up the lungs to the maximum of the capacity, and we find it's challenging to lengthen the breath to find. So what I will encourage you to think of the breath work is slower and softer. Even consistency of the breath from the start of the inhale to the breath and to the start of the exhale to the bottom of the breath. You can be in a seated position, but I will encourage you to come into a lying down position if that is comfortable. Choosing a variation that is that the body is held, knees bent or legs straight, hands out from the sides of the body. But if you find it helpful to experience the body's reactions to the breath, perhaps the hands rest in the body towards the belly, the ribs or the chest. No matter where you choose to be, eyes closed, mouth closed. And we'll just take a few moments to really arrive and to land in the practice. If you're in a lying down position, any uncomfortable areas, readjust. And if you're with me live or if you're watching this at the end of your week, just take a moment to really arrive. Trying to step away from whatever's been occupying your mind throughout the week. Whether these have been positive experiences, negative experiences, or anywhere in between. Create space. And within this space that we're in to create, or not resist or push away any thoughts, we'll just shift the focus. As you bring it to the physical body, and take a moment to check in through the physical body, the crown of your head. Notice how the body feels. Then allow your awareness to move down through the body, inquiring along the way. Any points of stiffness, of holding, of discomfort, be there for a moment longer, giving tension, attention. Moving all the way down into the toes. When you've tuned in the physical body, note the condition of the mind. How has your week been? Have you been rested well this week? Do you feel energetic as you come to your practice? Has the mind been busy? Just notice. And with this attuned awareness, when we've truly checked in, we'll bring our attention to the breath. Be aware that you're welcome to remain with the breath, just witnessing. But if all is well, mentally prepare for a few rounds of the resonance breathing. Inhale and exhale in and out through the nose, but no force to achieve the longer breath. Be with attain breathe with ease. Breathing in, 2. Breathing out, 2. Breathing in, breathing out, 2. Breathing 3, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3. Breathing in, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3. Breathing in, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3. Breathing 4, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And continue. Note the condition of the breath. Softly lengthening it, even inhale and exhale. No pressure developing around your chest or around your eyes. If this is present, it's a suggestion that the count is a little long for this morning. Come back a step, shorter count. If you haven't already done so in your apply your Ujjayi breathing to be layered on top. If you get distracted, if the mind wanders, being patient, bring it back to your softly extend. At the end of your next exhale, release the effort of the body and just witness for a moment. What's the response? 4 minutes of conscious breathing. With me for the count of 5, down to about 6 breaths per minute. Creating a beautiful balance between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. If you've chosen to remain in a seated position, you can be as you are. If you have come to that lying down position, just softly begin to stir the body, bringing the feet together. Extending the right arm up and over as the left hand comes to the belly, and fold the left knee. Once you feel steady, roll onto your right side. Take a moment. When there's no trace of dizziness, pushing up to any seated variation, eyes closed. Namaste Mudra. If comfortable, palms lightly press in front as you take a moment to set an intention, a sankalpa, or a dedication for your practice. Release your hands. A few gentle brings opening of the eyes. Now, we're going to come front, and you can do so by sweeping your legs around. If it's accessible and higher, a little closer. If you're in a cross-legged position, that is. Raising the hands and the knees, unravel. Take a moment to Vagrasasa, the tiger breathing setup. The intention is to shoulder over the wrist with the fingers well spread. Hands can be further front if that's pressure on your wrist. Knees underneath your hips initially so your thighs are vertical, then wider from that point. You could also measure the distance by bending at your elbows. Your elbows, the distance from your knee to your wrist. Your hands is where this is for the hands to be placed. The length of the forearm even. And then you can, if this is too challenging for your wrist, you can bring your hands front as you need. Choose which is appropriate. Very comfortable. There's a slight engagement to the base of the pelvic, and I encourage you to raise your right hand a little. So a mild bend in the right elbow just to raise the right hand a little. Keep the top of the left foot grounded on the left knee. And notice the response. You want to shift left, you want to shift right. Can you be there for a moment and breathe? If you have any sensitivity on the left shoulder, please take care. Mindfully apply. Beautiful. And ground the left knee and ground the right hand. Raise the left, keep the top of the right foot grounded, but just raise the right knee. What's the response? You want to sway one side or the other. In the base of the pelvic and below the knee. It helps really centralize the body. Beautiful. Ground right knee and left hand. Raising the left knee, but keep the foot grounded and raise the right hand. Can you stay centered? What's the difference between both sides? Beautiful. Grounding the hand and the knee. Top of right foot's grounded, but you raise the left hand. Stay centered. Beautiful. Ground right knee and left hand. Now you can continue to work, but if all responded relatively well, we'll take a little step further into greater movement. Keep the tops of the feet grounded, you're just raising the knee. That simultaneous movement of hand and knee together, beautiful coordination. If very comfortable, keep the gaze a little front. Allow your breath to flow. All is well, raise your right hand, left knee, and step the right hand front and bring the left front close to the left wrist. Then the left hand, right knee, the right hand, left knee, left hand, knee, right hand, and the left knee. To change direction, just raise the right knee, keep the top of the foot grounded, slide the right back and the left hand. Leg and the right leg, the left hand. How slow and steady can you move? And the right hand, the right leg, and the left hand coming front, left hand, right hand, and the left knee, left and the right knee, right hand, left knee, left hand, and right knee, changing directions, right knee, and the left hand, left knee, right knee, and left hand, left knee, and the right hand. For another full round with your own pace. As best you can, keep the gaze front. Can you have that simultaneous engagement? So the hand and the knee coming at the same time, the top of the foot remains grounded. If you're spacing, we can go further, but the intention is not speed. The intention is that control during your fun. Such a simple movement, but it's the basis for how we walk. Beautiful. Once you've completed your current, come into the center of your mat, placing the feet together, then sitting back on the heels, asana, lifting. If this is challenging for you, you can fall on your knees or any seated variations. Choose which is appropriate. No pressure or force. Very comfortable here. No matter where you are, spine is lifted, gaze is straight ahead. Rest as much as a neutral position. Perceive is neutral for you. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, ramp your chin back towards your neck. So it's not chin towards the throat, you're not tilting down. It's coming straight back in your own to create beautiful length in the back of the neck. Inhale, allow your head to a little front. Exhale, ramping back. Inhale, allow it to come front. Exhale, ramping back. Inhale, come up and then down and back. Inhale, front and up. Exhale, down and back. As best you can, maintain it here. Keep this length in the back of the neck. Note that you're not leaning through the upper body. Just the head and neck move. No force. Beautiful. Leave the head come a little front. I'm mindful if you're habitually bringing the head a lot front where the ears coming beyond the shoulder. Just a little back. A very mild double. Note that you can position at any moment of the here. One hand, whichever feels good. Placing on the chest, skin and skin if you can. So if there's a t-shirt covering around the collarbone, just underneath the t-shirt. Hand on top. Pressurizing the hands against the skin. This is good. A mild double chin. Then elevate your chin up from the top. But keep that pressure on the chest. The teeth together and the lips together. And breathe. No pressure on the back of the neck. Notice where you feel. Breathe. If it's comfortable and accessible, slide your bottom down your top teeth. Super. Slide the feet back. Bringing the head back to position, gaze straight ahead. Releasing your hands rest on your thighs. All is well, turn your gaze to your right and drop your chin down towards your collarbone. This is good. Raise your right arm over and your grab neck just at the base of the skull. You can see there's a bony prominence at the base of the skull. Your fingers can lightly rest here. And with the help of the right arm, slightly draw the chin down a little further. Please mindfully apply. Allow your left hand to hang down with the side of the body. Oh, and recognize that action into the right, the left even shoulder blade. Recognize if you're collapsing through the spine, can you maintain length? Just a light drawdown. Breathe. Left shoulder on the back. Beautiful. Release the right hand. And bring the head back up. Through the center. Turn your gaze to your left. Drop your chin down towards the left collarbone, but you're not fighting for it. Allow the right arm to be down by the side of the body now. Raise the left arm up and over. Grabbing at the base of the right side. And it's a very light drawing down. Recognize how lifted your spine is. What's the difference between both sides? Beautiful. Come to rest with the drawing of the head down with the assistance of the hand. Release the left hand. Raise. Coming through the center. Being as you are, or choose any variation. If it feels good, raising the knees, tuck the toes and sit tall back in the heels. Rotation through the neck, but we'll make smaller rotation and we'll build it as we go along. Your hands can be down by the sides of the body, on the thighs, the hips, or you can take the hands into a pouring out motion as best you can. So a medium bend in the elbow, you grab an imaginary glass of something and you endeavour to pour that all the way up behind you. With the arms held in this pouring out motion, drop your chin towards your chest initially. Then slowly bring your chin past your right collarbone, looking for the right shoulder. Remembering we're making smaller rotations as you lift the chin up, never moving into pinching or discomfort. You make a circle on the ceiling with your chin, looking to your left. Chin down past the collarbone. Continue to your right. Feels good. Second rotation a little bigger, but don't force. Past the left collarbone, base of throat. Once you've arrived at the base of the throat, can you straighten your arms a little and pour out a little more in reverse direction? So chin down past the left collarbone, look for the shoulder. Lift the chin. Slowly drawing that circle on the ceiling, but never fighting for depth. Look for your right shoulder. Chin, collarbone, base of throat. Continue to your left, still pouring out if you can. Never forcing, never fighting. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Back to the throat. Once you've arrived, there's no rush to get here. Lift your head so the gaze is straight ahead. And release the arms. Shoulders free. We'll raise tall in the knees as best you can. Raise tall in the knees, then untuck your toes. Any sensitivity in the knees, double over your mat. Your knees can be as wide as up. If you fatigue or challenge in your shoulders, you can work with hands on the sides of the body. They'll rest in the thighs. Your back movement. If all is well, encourage your arms to be extended up in front. Chin is in a mild double chin. We'll move with the breath. On the inhale, you're reaching the shoulder front, reaching your arm out of the shoulder joint, elevating the shoulders up. As you exhale, retract back and down. Inhale, shoulders front and up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, front and up. Exhale, back and down. Point. Inhale, re-elevate up from that point. Exhale, front and down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, front. Can you keep your arms straight and down? Inhale, shoulders back and up. Exhale, front, down. Super. This is good. We'll stay on our knees. We'll drop our arms down at a 45-degree angle. So arms pointing on a 45-degree angle. Still good here. Move from the shoulder, but think the bicep is turning. Arms going opposite direction. Allow the breath to flow. Being with this angle of all as well, out to the side, still above 45 degrees, but now you're out from the shoulder side, almost in line with the hip. This is all responding to shoulder height, and same movement. One bicep turns in, one bicep turns back. No force in the neck, still with a mild double chin, but maintain that beautiful length in the neck and the breath is flowing. Come to rest with the movement, palms to face down. Bring the hands in front of the thighs, close to the body. As you inhale, bend at the elbows, bending as much as you can at the top with the palms to face you. Exhale, release down. Inhale, bend at the elbow. At the top with the palms to face out. Exhale down. Inhale, bending at the elbow. Flip the palm to face you. Exhale, releasing down. Beautiful. This feels good. Allow the hands to come to the sides of the body. The knees and the feet together. Sitting back on the heel. Spine is lifted. You can be in any seated variations. Taking the hands out to the side. Resting next to the hip. You can keep the hands grounded and a slight lean from the waist. If all is well, however, we'll encourage a lifting of the arm. As you inhale, raise your left arm up. Flip the palm and shoulder height in line with the ear. As you exhale, fold to your right from the waist. So feel and breathe. No strain or pressure. Notice the beautiful opening on the left side of the body. Inhale, smoothly back. Exhale, release the left. Inhale the right if you are choosing to raise the arm. In line with the ear is the intention. Exhale, fold to your left. You're folding from the waist. The intention is feeling the work starting from the right hip, working its way up the side of the body. No pressure on your shoulder or your neck. Beautiful. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, release the right arm. We're going to come front. If you're in any other seated position, you need to sweep your legs around to the side. Going to come front onto the forearms. To the point where the shoulder is over the wrist. Then readjust your legs to where your knees are underneath your hips. knee underneath the hip, and good distance between the toes in line with the knee. This feels good here, making a fist and stacking one fist on top of the other. And with the forehead to rest on the wrists, and the rest on the fists even. This feels good here, mindfully applying with a round spine. So you feel and imagine as if the middle back is reaching towards the ceiling, as if you're in tiger breathing, but just a slightly different variation with the forearms grounded. This is good here. We'll maintain your middle to upper rounding, endeavouring to do so, and we'll work just to the lower back. Mindfully apply. As you do, it's a slight tilt to the pelvic, so the belly works a little bit towards the mat. As you exhale, there's a slight tuck. As you inhale, there's a slight tilt, but you maintain rounding to the upper and middle. As you exhale, there's a slight tuck. Inhale, slight tilt. Exhale, slight tuck. Smaller movement than you think. Continue for 3 more rounds, but no pressure or force. Move with your breath. Being aware that it can take some time to develop this movement and the relationship. The pelvis is moving on its own, so don't force or fight or be discouraged. Mindfully apply. Completed your 3rd round. Lift the head slightly so you can straighten the arms, palms face down. These will keep the torso rather high and lifted, and the head is again the gaze even. Sitting back in a heel as best you can. You can be anywhere before it. Just working with this intention. Breathe really well. Let's take a rest for a moment. What's the reaction and response in the lower back? Beautiful. This feels good. Next inhale, raise up on the hands and the knees. If you're anywhere in the middle or the front of the middle or the back of your mat, just like to start your practice, crawl towards the front of your mat. Once you've arrived in the front of your mat, you're setting up with that tiger breathing, shoulder over wrist. The knees are as wide, toes in line to knees. You can check in quickly by bending at the elbow. Elbow almost coming close to the knee if you are comfortable at that distance. Then re-raising back up. Full movement through the tiger breathing. We're thinking the head is the last thing to move. As you inhale, arch through the lower back. Then feel and experience the middle back, upper back. Draw the shoulder away down the back and slightly lift the head. As you exhale, round to the lower back, middle back, upper back, and release the head round the spine. Inhale, arch. Draw the shoulder down and away. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Move as best you can. Exhale. Then maintain there for a moment if you can, but don't rest at any moment. Best you can, maintaining the shoulders in the original position, working to be this is the eventual intention. Middle back to ceiling. Beautiful. Inhale back to an easy spine. Gaze slightly. First variation to take is you can sit directly back towards the heel with the toes on top. If it's accessible, however, you can the heels and you can play around with being here. If this is responding well, you've no fight in your ankle, your knee, or your hip this morning, you can take your upper body and take rest by walking the hands back. Allow your knees to rest, or raise even. Walk the hands back towards you a little further, little further, little further. Coming into a variation of Malasana, the squat pose with the heels raised. Any challenge in the balance? Maybe or a little bit front. Make sure you're focusing no matter where you are. And be here for a few breaths. Allow the shoulders to be free after taking a little weight in your tiger breathing. Where's your chin? Little back. Where's your ribs? Little back. Now the intention is to see the position. If you're quite high up off the mat and there's any challenge in the lower back in particular, ground your knees and come front as necessary. If you're just playing around, you can reach one hand behind you, reach front, and smoothly sit back. Just the feet to be a little further front. Take the feet away from the body as wide as you need to where you can firmly ground the feet in all four directions. Hands behind you if you need to. If it feels steady, hook the arms underneath. Clasp opposite wrist form, or maybe it's just the thighs. Feels good here into your beloved toe movements. All is well, raise all of your toes as you inhale. Exhale, grounding. Inhale, raise. Exhale, ground. Inhale, elevate toes. Keep all of the toes up. Toes as you exhale, ground big toes. Inhale, raise. Exhale, ground the big toes. Inhale, raise. Keep the big toe. As you exhale, endeavour to ground second the little toe, but keep the ball of the foot grounding. Inhale, raise. Exhale, ground. Inhale, raise. As you exhale, regrounding your big toe and your little toe. Three lads in between are lifting and they're spreading. They'll be there for just play. No fight. Beautiful. Ground all of your soft. This is good. Release the you're there. Extending both legs straight together. Maintaining hand support if you're there, or your hands can be resting next to your hips or on your thighs. Feet can come about hip distance apart. As you inhale, toes come back towards you. You're pushing your heels. As you exhale, point your feet. Inhale, push heels. Exhale, point feet. Inhale. Exhale, point the feet. If it feels good, once you've pointed, hold it there and begin to wag side to side like windshield wipers. Allow the breath to flow. Beautiful. Come to rest with the wagging of the feet. Smoothly draw the toes back towards you. Bringing the feet together. The intention is full rotation through the ankle. We'll move with the breath for the full rotation. So full inhale with the rotation, full exhale with the rotation, and 3 rounds as best you can. I'll encourage you to move with your breath. Really slowing it down and lengthening it to the full inhale, the full exhale, the full inhale again. Once you've completed, there's no rush in doing so, change direction, but make sure, work towards working and coordinating with the breath. Looking at the ankles. Beautiful. Come to rest with the rotational movement. Take the feet back about hip distance apart. Heels push away. Your toes point up. It's important that the tops of the thighs maintain facing out directly up towards the ceiling as you intend to open up the feet to the side and turn the soles of the feet in towards each other. As you inhale, you're trying to open up your feet but without leaving the hip roll out, so without the thighs rolling out. As you exhale, you're trying to turn the feet in towards each other as best you can. Inhale, open it out, but keep the heel pushing. Exhale, feet in towards each other. Inhale, waking up feet. Exhale, and towards each other, and be there for a moment if you can. Are your feet dropping out to the side? Can you have your toes pointing up, but try to turn the soles of the feet in towards each other? Be there and breathe. Beautiful. Back to center. Toes free. Little wiggling of the toes. Very comfortable here. Bending of the right knee. Grounding of the right foot. The heel slides slightly back towards the buttock muscle. If your hands are behind you and you're working with that variation, this setup, you can keep the heel where it is with the knee bent. Raise the front of the foot and you'll be working with turning the foot in and out as you move with the breath. If it's accessible to work without the hands behind, sweep the right arm underneath the right leg and the palms come to clasp. The heel is grounded initially, toes draw back towards you, turn the foot out. Remembering, keep the heel grounded if the hands are behind you. If you're in the clasp, you can raise the leg. As you inhale with the foot maintained out, raise the leg up to about 3/4 of the way to being straight. Turn the foot in as best you can, and as you exhale, release down. So moving from the shin, moving from the knee. Inhale, turn the foot out, re-raising it up, turn the foot in, exhale down, keep the foot turned in as you inhale, elevate it up. As you exhale out and down, inhale foot in and up, exhale out and down. Ground the right foot, release the arm if you're there, straighten the right leg. Bend the left knee now. Choose the appropriate variation. If it's accessible, it feels steady, sweep the left arm underneath, hands to clasp. Flex the foot no matter where you are, so the toes are back towards the shin. The foot turns out. As you inhale, raise it up. Exhale, turn in and down. Keep the toes working back towards the shin. Inhale out and up. Exhale in and down. Keep the foot turned in as you re-raise up. As you exhale out and down. Inhale in and up. Exhale out and down. Super. Grounding the left foot. Keep the left foot grounded. Right foot comes in. You can sweep the legs around, but if it feels good, cross the legs over. Heels a little closer to the bum. Take the hands front and raise tall on the knees. Take your knees to be wider than your mat. So you're facing towards the short edge of your mat. Knees nice and wide, feet put together. Sit back for a brief moment in Vajraswasa. Not Vajraswasa, my apologies. Adho Mukha Virasana, the resting warrior. Forehead grounded. Arms working straight as comfortable as you can. Or you can stack the palms or stack the fists to support the forehead. If your arms are extended out in front, lightly push away the mat. Steady breath. Beautiful. Feels good. Lifting of the head, raises front. Extend the arms out in front if you haven't already done so. You can be as you are and confront in a brief moment in whichever way is necessary for you. If it feels good, we'll come to a downward dog. Keep the distance between the hands and the feet, but raise the hip. Feet to shoulder distance, take the toes under. Without disturbing the position, the distance between hands and feet, push the hip up and back. You can work with bent knees to lessen the intensity and take it if there's any pressure on the shoulder. Bend the knees, share the weight more with the legs. Feels good, little straighter. Gaze straight down. Mindful not releasing the head and checking out the feet. Keep the length in the spine. Really well. Where do you feel it? Where is it responding? Beautiful. Next inhale, bring your shoulders over your wrist. Wait, pada for a brief moment. If you find the plank pose is challenging, please ground your knees. Don't fight. If it feels good, you're mindfully applying your up. Being here, gaze slightly front. There's that beautiful length in your neck and you're in a mild double chin. Super. Ground your knees if you haven't already done so. Squeeze the elbows close. Come down whichever way is necessary. Little practice. The thighs, the belly, the chest. That will bring the chin all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, feet together, toes and heels to touch. We'll bring the arms out to either side, shoulder height. Bending at the elbow, so 90 degree. Your elbow to your shoulders in a straight line. Turn your gaze to your right for a brief moment, but mindful of the neck. Your right shoulder, the intention is bringing the front of the right shoulder to the ground, but you're not forcing it or driving it towards the ground. Just work in that direction. Keep the 90 degree bend in the elbow, but just shift the elbow a little north of the shoulder line. Then the front of the shoulder works towards the ground. Turn your gaze now to your left. Raise the left elbow up so you can ground a hand. It can be away from the chest but in line with the chest. You can be here, feeling the front of the right shoulder work towards the ground. If it feels good, however, press the left hand into the mat and gently roll to be on your right side. You can be as you are here. If this feels good, however, bend the left knee, and the intention is bringing the left knee close towards the left wrist. But all the while, front of right shoulder is working towards the ground. Breathe really well. There is no pressure or strain in the neck. Recognize the steps we've taken. Breathe. Breath goes longer, breath goes softer. Beautiful. Pressurize the left palm. The left leg stacks back on top of the right. Rolling back onto the belly. Both legs are grounded. We're turning both arms towards 90 degree now. Keep the gaze to your left. Front of the left shoulder is working towards the ground. Keep the 90 degree bend in the elbow, but bring the elbow just up a little bit north of the shoulder line. Then turn your gaze to your right. Ground the right palm in line with the chest, but it can be away from the body. This feels good. You pressurize the right palm a little, and you can feel perhaps the left shoulder will work a little bit
closer towards the ground. Be as you are, but if it feels good, stack the feet on top of each other as you roll onto your balance on your left side. If it feels steady, you can bend your right knee and bring it closer towards the right wrist. Be here for a moment. Awareness with front of left shoulder. Front of left shoulder is reaching towards the ground. But don't force. No pressure to achieve. Beautiful. Smoothly, with care, pressurize the right palm. Bring the right foot back to stack on top of the left. Rolling on the belly. Bring the chin back to center. All is well here. You can bring both hands, the stack one on top of the other, and your chin can be resting on the hands. I'll encourage you to remain at the orientation you're in, but I'll just change for a quick second, as it'll make a little further sense. So we work with the hips a little. Working with your right leg. The intention here is to take your right leg out to the side. You bend at the knee. The intention is walking the right knee up to the point where the knee is in line with the hip, but trying to keep the hip down. If it's challenging for you to arrive at this position from lying flat, you can alternatively roll on your left side for a brief moment. Then bend the right knee and bring the right knee up as best you can where the knee is in line with the hip. Now your right hip may be a little higher, but a little practice as the right knee slides out and the hips open up a little further, the both hips will come to be working towards level. So choosing whichever variation of approach is best for you, then be there and breathe for a few steady breaths. You're feeling now the front of the right hip is working towards the ground. The right knee is working away from the body, creating that space. Lengthen the breath. If it's challenging to ground your chin on your hands, maybe it's your forehead. Oh, feel and breathe. Each exhale opens up a little further. But notice there's no pressure on your knee, there's no pinching on your hip, there's no fight to be here. Beautiful, re-raising up your head. With care, bringing the right leg back to meet the left. And changing sides, please note that you can roll on your right side if necessary to bring the left knee up to the point where it's in line with the hip. You can be before it, but if it feels you're mindfully applying, you're working towards it. Hip in line with the knee, and the back of the hips are working almost level, working towards. A few steady breaths. Where do you feel it? Is there a difference between both sides? Each exhale opens up a little further. Beautiful. With care. Left back to meet the right. Hands in line with the chest. Smoothly push back. Bending at the knees, take your knees feet as wide as your mat. The resting warrior, choose appropriate variation, arms extend front and forehead to mat or stack palms or stack fists. Breathe. Super. Arms extended front if you haven't already done so. Be as you are, but if a little practice and it feels good, Adho Mukha Svanasana, raise the hip, keep the distance between the hands and the knees, feet shoulder distance, take the toes under, raise the hip. Be here. Few steady breaths. Spreading of the fingers. Feel that beautiful even weight between the hands and the feet that you're working towards. Keep the toes where they are, but if it feels good, bend one knee and begin to stretch the opposite heel towards the mat in a very slow and steady walking out of the dog. That's that beautiful response to the calf muscle. Super. Now bending both knees if you're up in the downward dog. The intention is coming front to seated position and then on your back. Arrive there whichever way is necessary. Little practice. Right knee, right wrist, shin diagonal. Left shin stacks on top. With care, sitting back. And then rolling on your back. Once on your back, bring your thighs in relatively close to the chest and a light rolling side to side. But only to the point where you can keep that chin in a mild double chin and maintain that tremendous length in the back of the neck. Coming to rest with the movement. Bending of the knees around the soles of the feet. A Setu Bandhasana setup, a bridge pose setup. Feet are as wide as your shoulders, heels are into your fingertips as your hands are down by the sides of the body. Knee is over the ankle. Note the position of the chin. Mild double chin. You're not actively or forcefully rather drawing it back toward this pressure, additional pressure created. Let's work in this direction. All is well here. Note that the back of the ribs are grounded and connected. Your feet are evenly grounded. And as you inhale, smoothly pressurize the feet and raise up just to the lower back. You can take both hands underneath and note that it's just the back of your hips and the upper part of the bum that's raised. Check in with your middle back. The back of the ribs, very most importantly, are grounded and the chin is still comfortably in the original position. All is well here. Start to shift the pelvis side to side. Pushing side to side. You're keeping the hip just a little lifted and you're pushing side to side. Middle back the entire time remains grounded. Hands can be down by the sides of the body or you can have them on either side of the hip. Allow your breath to flow. If this becomes too demanding at any moment, just take a little rest by going back down and raising up when it feels good. Pausing for a moment, keep this little lift but middle back grounded. A twist of the pelvis, so you can have hands either side of the hips and you'll be raising one side of the hip up higher than the other like a seesaw, twisting through the pelvis. Just allow your breath to flow and move at a slow and steady, controlled pace. Middle back is still grounded. Chin, mild double chin. Breath is flowing. Beautiful. Come to rest with a little twist. Bring the pelvis back to a neutral position. Still a little lift if you can. All is well here. You'll be hiking up one hip towards the shoulder and the other will draw down. So you'll be shortening the waist on one side and lengthening on the other. Hands can be on the side of the hips if you find that helpful. Think slower, more controlled movement. Still middle back is grounded, just the lower back that's elevated. Beautiful. Pausing here for a moment. All is well, your last movement, there will be a tilt in the pelvis and a tuck in the pelvis. Already in this present moment, you'll be currently in if the middle back is grounded in a tuck position. So it'll be slight tilt and a slight tuck. Think smaller, more refined and controlled movement. Breath flows. Beautiful. If it feels good, next inhale as you tuck your pelvis, release your hands if they're on the hips. Continue to your lower back, your middle back if it's part of your practice, the upper back with no pressure on the neck. As you release down, smoothly upper, middle and the lower back. Inhale, pressurize the feet evenly. Note that the knees point in the direction of the toes, they don't drop in toward each other. Raising up. Exhale, releasing it down. Inhale, tuck the pelvis smoothly, push the hip. And be there for a moment. But if you're maintaining, keep the head nice and straight so the neck is maintained that steady position. Gaze is straight up. Feel that firmness in your feet, but no pressure on the knee. No pressure on the hip, the lower back or the neck. Feel and breathe. Beautiful. Next exhale. Feel the upper back come to the ground. Followed by the middle back. And smoothly down to the lower back. Smoothly grounding. Walk the feet a little bit towards each other to where your feet and your knees are now hip distance apart. Keep the left leg as it is, but we're going to raise the right foot up a little and bring the knee a little closer to where your knee is almost over your hip. This is good. Raise the lower leg up to where the 90 degree between the calf muscle and the thigh. The heel pushes away. You can take one or both hands behind the lower back and note where is the point where there's just a mild arch of the lower back. Mild arch of the lower back, ribs, back of the rib grounding and chin in a comfortable mild double chin. As you inhale, start to bring the right thigh closer towards the body to the point that you can just feel a little pressure placed against the hand that's underneath the lower back. So that's the pelvis tucking under. As you inhale, allow the thigh, so you're not straightening the leg, you're just allowing the thigh to move away from the body to the point that you can feel that the pelvis is beginning to tilt in that lower back, returns into a mild arch. Inhale a little closer, exhale a little further away, inhale, exhale, inhale, note that you're not straightening the leg, keep the bend in the knee, exhale, inhale, little tuck. Exhale, allow the thigh to move away from the body to the point you can feel that the mild arch in the lower back is returned to. The right hand can now be supporting the outside edge of the right knee or on top of the knee. The intention is internal and external rotation, so you maintain a 90 degree in the leg. To internally rotate the leg will be turning out, so as if you're trying to bring your foot to the outer edge of your mat. To externally rotate is as if your right foot is coming towards the left knee. So the thigh will be turning out. Inhale, the leg to the outer edge of the mat. Exhale, foot to knee. Real slow and steady. Continue for a few rounds at your own rhythm. Note that the knee maintains in the same position and you can have your right hand assisting this position. Notice that your thigh moving. If you'd like to think that the top of the thigh is turning out and you're trying to turn it in. Keep breathing. Inhale out. Exhale in. Next, inhale back to that central position, the knee almost over the hip as best you can. Both hands can be resting on the fronts of the hips. As you inhale, open up the right leg to the side, but only to the point that the left hip doesn't raise. Perhaps for the first round you come to the point where you can feel your left hip raising up, so you'll know you're just gone behind that point and work before that point each time as you exhale back to center. Inhale, opening it out without dropping the left leg away either. Exhale, center. Where do you feel it? Inhale, slow and steady. Exhale, center. Inhale, rest. Welcome at any moment. I know this can be challenging. Please mindfully apply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Oh, ground the right leg. Osteoreaction. Top of the right thigh. Inner groin. Outer hip. You raise the left foot up now, hip almost over the knee, raise the lower leg to 90 degree. Place one hand or both hands underneath the lower back region to feel a mild arch. As you exhale without straightening or bending the knee, just work from the hip, thigh towards the belly. Where do you feel that the hand gets a little pressure from the lower back? As you inhale, allow the leg to come a little away to where that arch is recreated. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, subtle movement, inhale, exhale, inhale, coming away to the point that you can feel that mild arch is coming in your lower back, but middle back is still grounded, chin is still comfortable at mild double chin. Your left hand now can support the outside edge of the left leg or around the thigh. Your internal, external rotation. As you inhale, the lower leg will be turning out, the thigh is turning in. As you exhale, the thigh is turning out, the lower leg is turning in. Inhale, the lower leg works towards the outer edge of the mat. Exhale towards the center line, but note that the leg is not dropping out to the side. Knee remains in the same position. Continue for a few rounds. Inhale out and exhale in. That's slower, more controlled and refined movement. Keep the heel pushing away as best you can. Toes back towards the shin. Inhale out. Exhale. Coming back to center. Keeping the 90 degrees as best you can in the leg. The knee almost over the hip to the point you can feel with the mild arch through the lower back. As you inhale, keep the hands on the hip. Open up the left leg to the side to the point you can just feel before the right hip wants to elevate. Inhale back to center. Inhale, open up, my apologies. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, center, working the same lining. Inhale, opening up. No disturbance to the right side of the body. Exhale, center. Inhale, feel. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Ground the left foot. Oh, beautiful reaction. Top of the thigh, front of the thigh, the hip flexor, the top of the hip. Keep the left leg where it is. Raise the right leg up, and as best you can, place the right ankle just before the left knee. Knee almost in line with the ankle, but don't fight for it. Trying to keep the hip level as best you can. Be as you are. Little practice. Raise the left foot up off the mat. First variation is the right hand can grab the right knee and the left hand on the foot. It feels good, however. You can tread through and grab behind the left thigh or in front of the shin. If your chin is jutting up towards the ceiling, can you draw it back a little? If not, if that's challenging, perhaps you need to come back a step with the variation of the hands. Maintain the length of the spine. Breathe. Each exhale comes a little closer. Beautiful. Now you can be as you are, but if you have no particular strain in your neck and there's no pressure present in your knee at this very current moment, as you exhale, smoothly bring your nose towards the left knee. And be there for a moment. But you're not fighting to maintain. You have zero pressure in your neck. You're not tensing your neck to achieve this. Engage more to the base of the pelvic and below the navel. Chin is in a mild double chin. Not extending the chin front to achieve. Beautiful. Inhale, ground the head. Keep the alignment of the lower limbs, but just ground the left foot. Double cactus arm or arm straight if you have the space. Slide the right thigh all the way over, so rest the top of the left now. As you exhale, drop your knees to your right and your gaze to your left if it's good for the neck. Feel and breathe for a moment. Get twisted. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the legs. Return the right foot even toward hip distance apart. Raise the left leg up now. Ankle just below the knee. Knee working towards the bench tension in line with the ankle. Be as you are. Feels good. Bend the knee. Go for the clasp. You can clasp the left leg with the foot and the knee. Feels good. Try the hands through, grabbing towards the back of the thigh or in front of the knee or the shin. And bring it a little closer to the point. You can maintain that beautiful integrity and length of the spine. Chin in a mild double chin. Breathe, really extend your breath. Feel the length. Very comfortable. Chin in a mild double chin as you exhale, engage your lower belly. Slowly bring the nose towards the knee. Then maintain it there, but your shoulders are relaxed. Your chin is in a mild double chin. You're experiencing no pressure on your neck. Inhale, ground the head, ground the shoulders, ground the right foot, maintain the alignment to the lower limbs. Slide the left thigh between top of the right, double cactus arms or straight arms up from shoulder height. Exhale, knees to your left, gaze to your right. And nice and twisted. Feel and experience back of right shoulder grounding. If it's elevated, bring your legs closer back to center line. Ground it, then get twisted. Inhale, center. On the exhale, unravel the legs. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Feels good. Grab the legs and head towards the knees. Nice tight ball, tight as you can. Inhale, release the legs. Release and rest. Shavasana, end of your practice. Readjusting your body. Readjusting to the point that you feel like it's held. You feel comfortable. Any coverings or blankets are welcomed also. Eyes closed and the mouth closed. And as you come to the end of your practice, you're creating space to observe and to welcome any change that may have been brought about by your practice. And within this space that you're endeavouring to create, you can release all of the weight of your body. Any tension that may be lingering after your practice, any worry of the mind, any stories or conversations that are currently occupying your mind that don't serve you, can all be released into the earth. All accepted, never being too much. And safe in the knowledge that the body is held, the body is secure. Set your attention free to move with the breath which moves through the body. On the inhale, the breath moves up the front of the body. And on the exhale, it descends down the back. And each time your breath passes the threshold of the toes, your body settles a little deeper. It lets go a little further into effortlessness. And on your next inhale, perhaps it changes direction, inhaling up the back and exhaling, descending down the front. And each time it passes threshold of the toes, body settles further still. Body releases. All of the holding, all of the worry, all of the tension. And on your next exhale, as your body begins its journey of descent, as your breath begins its journey of descent on the front of the body, allow it to descend down and come as far as the space of the heart. And allow your awareness to enter the space of the heart and take up temporary residence here for a moment. Be with the heart. Be with pumping, beating of the heart. Witnessing, welcoming, whatever, if anything that may choose to arise as your awareness rests here, in this open and welcome space. From this open, from this welcome space of the heart,
Allow your body to remain within that position of deep rest and effortlessness. But softly allow your awareness to begin to radiate out from the center of the heart, to fill the whole body. And when your awareness is unfolded to the point where the whole body is filled, and you've arrived at the very edges of the body, the borders of the stillness, allow your awareness to become greater than your body. Allow it to expand and diffuse out into the space that holds it. And within this gentle diffusion of your awareness, allow it to begin to return to a more everyday awareness. Allowing this everyday and engaged awareness to influence your breath to be a little fuller, a little more conscious. The breath stirs and awakens the body. It stirs at the toes, the fingers, the head and the neck. Feet come softly back together. And extending the arms up and over. Begin at your feet, point your toes at your feet, turn your legs, take a big inhale, belly, shoulders, fingers, top, body. Exhale, release. Keeping the right arm extended up and over. Left hand to the belly, folding the left knee. Gently roll to your right side. Once you feel steady, explore any seated position with the eyes closed. Coming to the end of your practice, let's take a moment to note any difference to the beginning of your practice. Bringing the hands together, rubbing the palms, generate a little heat. Placing the hands over the eyes, gently cup. And extend a massage throughout the region of the eyes. Taking the hands a small distance away from the eyes. Gently blink the eyes open, gaze into the palms. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I hope you had a good practice. If you're with me live, have a lovely weekend. If you're watching this at any other time, have a great day. Look forward to connecting with you at your next practice. Thank you.